Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Are you ready to attend a really awkward Thanksgiving with your ex? Neither are we. Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. I'm Jess Sterling here with my co-host, Sarah Humphrey. Sarah, how are you?
Feeling thankful today. Thankful and grateful. Hashtag bless this mess or whatever.
Ew.
I know. I know.
Full on grimace.
I know. It's pretty disgusting. That's
Yuck.
millennial core for you.
Yeah. Well, it's our second Thanksgiving of the week. If you also listen to the Buffy podcast, you'll know that we talked about Thanksgiving over there. And now we're talking about Thanksgiving here. Although I will say I think Thanksgiving is more of a bigger deal on Felicity because it's like the holiday that we see. And it never misses, Sarah.
It never misses.
Never misses.
Yeah, this is our third Felicity Thanksgiving episode. Season 3, I don't know what happened, but we didn't get it last season.
Yeah, who's responsible for that? Because I'm upset about that.
That was rude and disrespectful. And
Yeah.
I don't like that energy that it put out last year. But
No.
it's fine because this year we have more, and there's so much to talk about. And I'm really glad that they did do a Thanksgiving episode because I agree with you. I think that Thanksgiving on Felicity is quintessential Felicity. I think that the messiest shit happens on Thanksgiving. I feel like this messiness wasn't as messy as other messy Felicity Thanksgivings. I think the David one was the worst.
That was really bad. Like really on bad. many levels.
Yeah.
This one was uncomfortable is what I would say. Like not dramatic, but uncomfortable.
Yes.
And of course we're talking, I don't know if I've said the title, season 4, episode 8, The Last Thanksgiving. But it all begins with like Sean buys a turkey. He's like, we're doing Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah. Oops, our oven is broken because I was testing some sort of invention in the oven.
Oh, I thought that was just like a sarcastic thing so that Megan could like manipulate the situation.
See, I did on my first watch, but on my second watch, Megan is like, don't you remember you like roasted and toasted XYZ?
I thought that she was just being sarcastic. I don't know.
But either way, she's like, hey, Felicity, can we have Thanksgiving over at your place?
Yeah. Wow. We currently have a turkey in our deep freezer, and we have since November. And the reason is because it's so easy to get a free turkey during Thanksgiving.
It really is.
So easy. Like they're giving away turkeys like hotcakes, but except I've gotten a lot more turkeys for free in my life than hotcakes. So I don't know why that's the expression.
I don't know. What is a hot cake? Is it just a cake that's hot?
I think it's a pancake. I don't know. So, so we currently have a turkey in our freezer, and I'm like, let's make it. Like, if we're going to have it in our freezer, let's make it. But it's an endeavor. And I didn't bring it home. You know what I mean? Like, Adam brought it home, and I never volunteered to make the turkey at all. So now it's just like in our freezer. Our deep freeze, and it's a nice size deep freeze. It is 60% ice that we got for our last party in September or like August that we are now saving for our next party in August. Because the thing is that like it's not old.
It's ice. It's not going to go bad. It's ice.
Go bad. We're gonna save it to like make drinks like cold for our party.
But your deep freezer is now full because of the ice and the turkey.
Pretty much, yeah. Like we
How big is the turkey? Do you know how many pounds it is?
Sizable. I don't know. It's sizable.
Because I think the move would have.
I don't know.
I feel like the move would have been like sometime during the winter months, like February, something like that, to make a turkey. Because I don't know that you're like hankering to turn the oven on for multiple hours once it gets to be quite warm.
No, we're never going to make this turkey. And I said, I didn't volunteer. Like, I didn't want to make the turkey. I don't know how to make a turkey. But now we have this turkey. So I don't know. Like, I'm just saying that it's so easy to get a turkey in the galaxy. Like, if you are buying your Thanksgiving turkey, babe, like, I think you're doing something wrong. Like, you can, I won a turkey once. I won one.
How? How?
This is going to sound so bad. I was a child. It's now really going to sound really bad. Okay. So in my hometown, there was something called the turkey shoot. And it wasn't, you didn't shoot real turkeys. However, it was at the gun range. And if the closest you get to the target, like you could win a turkey. So I don't remember how old I was, but I definitely was not a teenager. And I somehow entered the competition and I somehow shot the gun and won the turkey. That is what happened.
Wow.
And I live in fucking New Jersey. It's not like I grew up in Kentucky. It's not like I grew up in Indiana where I currently live. This is things that happened in Bergen County, New Jersey. But
wow.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's enough about free turkeys. But
enough about free turkeys because we're throwing Thanksgiving.
$300 at ShopRite. Get a free turkey there too.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a big thing that ShopRite does, which I loved.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing a Thanksgiving thing, and Megan has a plan because she is going to cast a love spell on Felicity and Ben.
Yes.
So she's like, it worked on the Spice Girls, and Felicity's like, the Spice Girls aren't back together, and Megan says, just you wait.
They got back together. I'm saying even Posh Spice eventually joined the gang. I think that worked. I am convinced that Megan is a witch because
pretty witchy.
This happened. It worked.
Yeah, temporarily. Yes. So she's like, we're throwing Thanksgiving. So now they need to get Ben there. So Megan's plan is, I'll just tell him, hey, you want to come to Thanksgiving dinner? And Ben says yes. And then Sean is like, well, wait a minute. It's at Felicity's place.
So messy. It's so messy. And of course, Ben's like, no. And then Felicity is like, no, it's okay. You should go to Thanksgiving.
I hated this from Felicity.
So Ben insufferable.
Ben declines because he has a valid reason, right? Like, oh, my dad's in the hospital. I'm just going to go hang out with him for the day. It's really not a big deal. Like, I was already planning on doing that. And Felicity at Dean and DeLuca is like, oh, sad sack Ben is going to be all alone on Thanksgiving. And so she thinks she's doing this like very charitable giving thing and being like, Ben, you really should come. Like, I'm really sorry, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, bitch, I'm not coming to Thanksgiving.
And he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have. This is the equivalent. You and I always talk about the nice guy syndrome.
Yes.
This is the female equivalent. It's like Felicity's acting like the nice girl, but she's really being an asshat.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. And there's worse things she does later on, but like this, I was like, okay, not loving this. Javier is also invited because him and Samuel are having a time of it. They got into this big fight over, I'm not even sure what. I can't remember what the first fight is about. I remember the second fight. So he has Mami at Dean and DeLuca, which I was like, Sarah's going to love this. Sarah's going to be over the moon for Mami.
Gorgeous. That cat is phenomenal. I love Mami, and I love that Mami was basically the star of the episode. I like that she was there the entire time. I'm pretty sure she had an outfit or two that she was rocking. Phenomenal cat. 10 out of 10. I really want that cat. How can I get that cat?
Well, first, I think that would be a conversation with your husband about not being allergic to cats. And then I think you could work on actually getting the cat.
I love a Persian cat. I especially love a Persian cat that has the most pushed in face that is possible. Barely any nose, barely any nostrils. That is what I like. I just think they're so cute.
Yeah. Well, Mami is vibing. And this is when Javier gets the invite because he's obviously not going to be hanging out with Samuel. And beyond that, we have Elena and Trevor getting in an invite because, Megan lives there and Trevor is around when Megan invites them. But Elena's having concerns, Sarah, because Elena is concerned that Trevor is an idiot because he needs Cliff Notes for his Cliff Notes. Now, I personally don't think this is controversial. Honestly, you don't want to date an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you have to be like Elena levels of smart, but at the same point in time, I understand she doesn't want to date a complete moron. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's fair. And am I an asshole? Like, I feel like it's fair for her to not want to date an idiot.
Well, the thing is that Elena is so smart. Like, how many people in this world are smarter or on the same level as Elena? I'm not quite sure. But, however, I agree with you. Like, one of the things that I look for in a partner or things I'm attracted to is someone who I think is intelligent. Like, I've never really dated a dummy. I am the resident dummy in the relationship. So I've never, like, Adam is brilliant. Like, he's absolutely brilliant. He's like a piano prodigy. He speaks French. Like, he's an amazing singer. He's super intelligent. He can do Excel. And like, I've never dated, I've married someone who's very intelligent. I've never dated a dummy. So like, I wouldn't know like what it felt like. However, I don't think that I would be doling out an intelligence test. And honestly, I didn't know most of the answers. So
yeah, let's talk about this test, because mostly for this episode, it's going to be a little strange because we're doing the quick hits of like what happens pre-Thanksgiving. We'll obviously take a little bit of a tangent to talk about Noel, but like we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving itself for a lot of this. So let's stop down on Elena and Trevor, because Megan is like, give him the test. And the test is, apparently there's a number of questions. I don't know if we even find out how many questions. She only ever gets through 3 of them. And these are supposed to be to weed out the dummies from the intelligent people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, these questions are difficult because if you're far removed from being school aged, some of this stuff just falls out of your head. And like on top of that, it's so specific. Like, why is it important that a person knows the capital of Washington? Like, literally, I can Google that, you know?
Yes. I think that the point is I don't know, like, I don't think that you are trying to find somebody who can win. Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
Exactly.
But it's like, if it's important to Elena, it's important to Elena.
Sure.
And there's so many different types of intelligent, because the thing
that's what I was gonna say. Yes.
Yeah. The thing is, like, maybe I'm not book smart. Maybe I'm not street smart. Well, you know, I'm just not smart. That's what it is.
Well, no, there's plenty of different types of intelligence. Like, you're right. There's book smart, street smart. There's emotional intelligence. Like, there's a lot of different types of intelligence. And I feel like the questions she's quizzing him on are like rote memory sorts of things. Like, I don't remember which planets are between the sun and the earth. Like, I could figure it out, I'm sure. Like, I could name all the planets and then try to figure out which ones are there. And maybe that makes me an idiot.
Can you name all the planets? Okay, here we go. How many are there? And then we're counting Pluto. We got Venus. That's a planet.
Uranus.
Okay, you know what's funny? Never mind. I'm not
Uranus.
I'm not going to talk about that. We got Jupiter to get more stupider. Mars.
Yes. Earth, obviously.
Goals. Mercury.
Yep. Okay, so what did you say already?
One. Okay.
Mercury, Mars, Venus. Did we get Venus?
Yeah, I got that was number 1. I think Mercury, it's the sun, then Mercury. Then there's something in between
Saturn.
That. No, that's at the end. Okay, we didn't get Saturn.
No, but I know, but we didn't have Saturn.
I know. I'm just trying to. It's
Jupiter is the biggest one.
So stupid. We are going to get ripped. I
don't care. I haven't been, and you know how long it's been since I was in elementary school? Literally, I can Google this. I don't need to know this off the top of my head. I would rather have other things.
I also
in my brain.
am a little like, I keep wanting to put them in order, and then you're like, Saturn. And I'm like, okay, yes, I know Saturn.
You said we were missing one.
No, we're missing. Okay, so there's the sun, and then I think it's Mercury, and then I think we're missing something, and then I think it's Earth.
Right, Earth is the third. Yeah, there's 2 between Earth and the sun.
So we're missing one. I think it starts with maybe another U one. I don't know. This is not going so well, I gotta say. And once again, we grew up being a planet.
Did we say Neptune?
No, so
that's the one we were missing then.
Neptune, in my mind, is blue.
I think it is blue, isn't it?
Okay, you know what? Here we go. Is this right? I don't know. God, life is so hard. Okay,
Anyway,
hold
did you
on.
know yes.
Okay. Mercury, Venus, then Earth. I didn't realize Venus was second, but that makes sense because I said I think it started with a U, but it's a V. So you know what I
Because it's
mean?
my very excellent something like
Oh,
there's
I've
like a
never heard it.
thing.
Earth
Mnemonic
and
device.
then Mars. Yeah. Okay. Then Saturn, then Jupiter, then Uranus, then
Mhm.
Neptune, and then Pluto is just kicked out.
Yeah, not even a planet
Okay.
anymore.
Okay, so then that was one. The next one was, what is the capital of Washington? Do you know that
Yeah.
answer? Is it I don't think, I mean, I was
Well, they said
thinking,
it in the episode, so I wrote it down, so I
oh,
do
what
know
was
it
it? What
now.
was it?
Olympia. Wouldn't have been able
Right.
to tell you that though. Like if
Right.
you had quizzed
Right.
me on this, definitely
Right.
not.
I mean, like, it's kind of tricky. It's kind of like New York. Like, you would think that New York City is the capital of New York, but it's Albany where you reside. So it's kind of a tricky one. I think that
Yeah.
and also, like, you and I, we're from the other side of the country.
Right.
So it's like, you could probably name the capital of New Jersey. You could probably name the capital of Pennsylvania, but we don't think about Washington. We can think about
Well,
Washington, D.C. We don't think about Washington so much, you
I'm
know?
also just not great with geography, so this
Yeah.
isn't my strong suit to begin with. And then
Alright.
this last question is really fucking useless.
Yeah.
When is the winter solstice? Who gives a fuck?
I would say it's December 23rd. Is that the answer?
You were very close. December 22nd.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
One off.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost said 22nd, but 23rd. Okay. I'm like kind of very much a dummy, but it's fine.
Yeah, so like all throughout the evening, Elena is quizzing Trevor on this in public. Like, and she's trying to like throw these questions in without him understanding what she's doing. But the problem is, Megan must have given Sean the test at some point because he knows not only all the answers, but he also like becomes aware of what is going
Mhm.
on. And he tells Trevor. Trevor gets really upset. He leaves. They do, we could go through the whole storyline because it's really inconsequential. Like, they end up making up at the end because when filling out applications, Elena doesn't know what to list under extracurriculars because she spent most of her life studying and like focusing on school so much so that she hasn't done extracurriculars. Nowadays, Sarah, there's no way you'd end up with no extracurriculars because that is like the thing you need to have when applying to like colleges and stuff. Like,
Right. I thought that she was
yeah.
saying that she had no extracurriculars in college because
I think she just doesn't have them at all. Like,
yeah.
it makes sense to me. Like, she spent so much time studying. And so she says, like, listen, you know how to have fun. And like, that's good too. Like, that's something I could learn how to do.
Yeah.
And so, like, he teaches her to play darts. I just don't see this lasting long term. Like, I'm not saying this guy has to be a genius, right? Like, I'm not saying he has to be Tracy. I'm not saying he has to be like on Elena's level.
Yeah.
But like, my guy, if you need cliff notes for your cliff notes, like, you're in trouble. I don't understand how you've gotten through this much of college without being able to do the work.
His father is a doctor. His
Mhm.
siblings are doctors. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that this is. I mean, could be Endgame. I don't really know, but I think that this is a nice little flingy relationship for Elena. I think that this fits her type. She likes the fun guy. She likes somebody that makes her laugh. She likes somebody that kind of like gets her out of her shell. I think it makes so much sense why they're dating. I just don't know if I don't think he's the one, but he doesn't have to be the one. She's 22 years
He could
old.
be the one for right now. Like, you don't need Mr. Right. You could be Mr. Right now. Like, you don't need something fancy.
What do you think that Elena should get into as an extracurricular?
Oh, what a good question. Okay. I think with someone like Elena, I don't think physical activity is a bad idea because she has some like stress and also she's very competitive. So
Yeah.
I could see something like some sort of like a not women's soccer, but like some sort of a league.
Field hockey.
Yeah, a field hockey would be great for Elena, I think. Something like that. Now, if she's less coordinated, if she's not exactly into the physical fitness sort of stuff, I think it needs to be something she can like be organized about because I feel like she would thrive with that. You know what I mean? Like, she needs to be able to organize all her supplies. I don't know that she would work want to do anything in the creative field though.
I'm thinking let's get her in a chess league.
Okay. Ooh, what about like knitting or something like that? I feel like because knitting is more scientific than some other crafts in terms of like, okay, you do 8 stitches and then you double back. Like you don't need to have as much creativity unless you're creating your own patterns and stuff.
Right.
And she could occupy her hands while she's like watching something, listening to an audiobook. I think she would enjoy that.
Yes.
Sarah,
what's that?
we know something she likes. Do you remember when she lived with Noel and she played Crash Bandicoot with Noel?
Yeah, I think the issue is that you can't really put on your resume for medical school, I like to play video games. Like, I think that you need something a little bit more impressive than that. You can say I code my own video games. That's pretty impressive, but I feel like Elena has potential. Hopefully the next couple of episodes she can find something that inspires her and is fun, could help bulk up her med school resume, because she's gonna have to go somewhere. The next steps of undergrad is medical school. Hope you enjoy that $500,000 worth of debt, Elena. Enjoy it. It's terrible. It's absolutely. Do you watch The Amazing Race?
I do not.
Okay, so there's like this like couple that are both doctors, and they were like legitimately like, yeah, we both have like $400,000 of student debt, I think, combined. But it's just like,
that just makes me want to throw up just hearing it.
Like, to hear that somebody has $400,000 of debt, ugh, horrifying. I mean, they really do need to win The Amazing Race to pay off that debt. Otherwise, you're going to be 92 and you're going to be finishing it up, hopefully.
I guess if they're doctors, theoretically, they could make a lot of money in the future, but still, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Noel, because then we can stay with the Thanksgiving crew, because Noel is like the outsider here. So his brother is visiting. We remember his brother because his brother came out to him. It was like a whole thing. So he is in quite a predicament because he doesn't tell his brother right away that he lost his job. But of course, he eventually finds out, and he's like, and then he finds out that Noel slept with Felicity while Felicity was with Ben. And his brother is kind of like, bro, what are you doing with your life? Like, are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, sincerely.
So it's not great. And so they get in a little bit of a tiff. They get into a little bit of an argument. So Noel goes off to a bar to like drink away his woes on Thanksgiving Day, meets a girl named Dana. Now, Sarah, the minute I saw Dana, my first gut instinct was, oh my gosh, oh no, he's going to sleep with a sex worker and then not be able to pay her. Like, I just assumed because she came onto him so strongly that like that was what the situation was.
Yeah. Why would he not be able to pay her? He's rich-ish, maybe.
Well, didn't he give all that money to Sean? I mean, truly, we don't know how much money
it doesn't matter, because so you knew automatically that she was a sex worker.
She's not a sex worker. She just robs him.
Oh, really? I thought she robbed him and she was a sex worker. I thought she was both.
I just assumed she hoodwinked him, but I guess I don't really know for sure. But either way, he ends up handcuffed to a bed with nothing. And he has to like call his brother to get uncuffed. His brother's giving him a really hard time, which, like, sure, fair enough. But also, your brother is like at the lowest point in his life right now. Like, cut him a little bit of slack. And then come to find out, Sarah, it turns out that it seems like there is a pattern of depression or a history of depression in Noel's family. It seems like possibly his dad had depression, and his brother talks about his times not feeling so great. And he tries to like get it through to Noel that like there are days where I just didn't even want to get out of bed. Like it's hard to like, and I connected with Noel for a minute here, where it's hard to understand and to like be able to point and be like, oh, that's depression, or oh, that's anxiety, right? Like, because I went through a really long time where I just thought I was tired. Like, I was like, I'm really tired, like a lot, all the time. And it was like, girl, that's depression.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see Noel kind of grapple with that, because while I would say, Sarah, he's been having a very rough time of it, I don't know that I've seen, like, I haven't really seen him, like, sleeping in all day. Like, is he doing that? I can't remember. Like, I don't know. I know he's going through a really hard time.
He's bopping. I just think that he's probably a little down and not motivated. It's like that
Yeah.
commercial where the
The
cloud is
Zoloft.
following the
Yeah.
person all the time. And it's like,
Little
oh, loss
bubble.
of interest, that
Mhm.
things that used to make you happy. Like, I
Yeah.
think that he's just a little directionless right now. He's not the only one.
Yeah. Yeah. And so his brother is like, oh, but helping to someone talking to someone helped me out. And so he does end up calling and leaving a message for Tony Pavone because he
There's
wants
other therapists, and that's a conflict of interest.
no, he asked her for a
Okay,
referral.
thank
He
goodness.
doesn't want to use her.
Good.
So he's looking
She's
for
not
a
good.
therapist.
Don't get him.
No, no. But I was like, wow, Noel, that's honestly, I'm pretty proud of him for like
Yeah.
making that call because I mean, for a lot of people, it takes a lot of like bad times and maybe even convincing to like try therapy, talk to a doctor. And like my advice, obviously, this was from the 90s and everything, but like, Sarah, I think my advice would always be like, if you don't know where else to turn, go to your like general practitioner and they should be able to
Yes.
refer you.
Yep, yep.
Because they're used to that. I can't tell you how many times I've cried at the doctor's office. Like, it's fine. They're fine. They understand. They
Mhm.
will give you help and guide you in the right direction. So I was just
Right.
like very proud of Noel for actually like recognizing that he should talk to someone.
Good job, Noel. Ho T minus how many moments until he winds up sleeping with either his therapist or
Oh my
his
god.
therapist's daughter?
Oh, you're
Something like
so
that.
right.
That
He's
is
gonna no,
something.
he's gonna pull a Sex in the City and he's gonna find someone in the waiting room because remember this
Oh,
isn't they're not doing it over
yes,
Zoom.
yes,
So
yeah.
he's gonna find someone in the waiting room, a la Carrie
Yeah.
Bradshaw.
Oh, yeah. That's such a bad move for Noel in the future that he
Mhm.
might not do. Yeah. I feel it's like, what's your rock bottom? And I guess getting handcuffed by a mysterious woman and getting your money stolen is his rock bottom. I don't know if it could get much worse than that.
Yeah. Well, his living situation is also not great. Like things are
Mhm.
super awkward with Ben
Yeah.
still. So like every facet of his life right now is kind of a hot mess.
Yeah.
And there are times when like I mean, people need therapy regularly, not just when their life is like a steaming pile of garbage.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
um okay, are you ready to move on to the actual Thanksgiving
Happy
festivities?
Thanksgiving. Yes.
Okay, so Ben originally declines, as we said, and then he goes to the hospital. He's hanging out with Lauren, who, if you don't remember, is Ben's dad's Ben's dad is the sponsor of this woman in AA. Now, Sarah, can I ask you, how old did you think that Lauren was, like prior to this episode?
Probably, if I had to guess, like Sean's age, like a 27 to 28, something like
Okay.
that.
I assumed she was like in her 30s. Like I assumed like a young 30s. Now, I never, and maybe this is stupid on my part, I never was like assuming there was any sort of chemistry, any sort of vibe. Like,
Mm.
I was never imagining there was any sort of a romantic thing here.
I don't think the first episode gave that indication, but I do think that Little Miss was batting her eyes hard in this
Right? It's
episode.
weird. Like, Ben's like, oh, I got invited somewhere, but I'm not going to go. I'm going to hang out with my dad. And she seems really sad because I guess her family usually does a big thing. And so she kind of like invites herself to Ben's Thanksgiving party. Um, and he's like, "Oh no, we shouldn't go." Okay, let's just go. Let's go. So he brings her, and he says later his intent was to hurt Felicity. Like
Yeah.
he was like, "I'm bringing a girl at Thanksgiving, and shove it in her face."
Yeah. But I feel like she was pretty chill. Like, I think that she didn't do anything wrong. I think
No,
that she and Felicity seemed to, have a nice little conversation. She was asking the questions. Like, she was kind of like putting out the feelers. Like, would it be okay? Is it weird? Like, like, is he an option for me? Because I don't like, obviously she didn't want the drama. So like, I don't find her to be super obnoxious or on the wrong side. I mean, Ben clearly was doing this move to make Felicity jealous, which I don't know if it worked initially because she was just like, Felicity was like, oh, it's just Ben's dad's friend. Like, she wasn't very phased at first. And I don't know. I cannot believe how this went on, but I didn't mind her. She was fine.
Okay, so then my question is going to turn to, who annoyed you more during the Thanksgiving festivities? Was it Felicity or Ben in terms of like the way they were acting?
Felicity is just, I don't know. I mean, like, I wasn't that bothered by Felicity at first because once again, she was like having a conversation. She was acting pretty cool about it. She seemed pretty unfazed. I just cannot believe they got themselves in a situation of how they ended up. How did they end up? Because they had like a confrontation and then like he's like, bye, fuck you, and then he comes back and then they're like together, right?
So there's all this drama of like Ben is entering Felicity's home and he is like immediately quite an asshole to her, and like justifiably she cheated on him, whatever. But like, I'm annoyed with both of them because Ben, if you're gonna attend a Thanksgiving party that is literally at your ex-girlfriend's house, you can't treat her like absolute fucking dog shit while you're there. You have to at least be like courteous. And then Felicity is trying so hard. And I'm like, girl, leave them be. Don't have a one-on-one conversation with the girl that Ben brought to your Thanksgiving. Like, just